Alright guys, today I want to share with you a watch that was put out by Gshock a few years ago. This is the MTG G1000AR1A, or better known as the Sunken Treasure. It's got some crazy finishing going on here, and I think what they ultimately did is they did some sort of IP coating of their really cool, unique rose gold, which is a little darker than most people's rose gold. I actually a fan of Gshock's rose gold choice. And then they put some sort of black finish over it, gives it the look of something that was maybe sunken in the ocean for a while and brought back up and wiped down and put back into use. So it definitely has a really cool look to it. This was sent in by my buddy John over at the Watchgauge. You know, he's a Gshock authorized dealer, but he didn't pick this one up new. I think he picked it up like new, used sort of thing. Somebody contacted him, and I don't know the whole story, but essentially this is kind of a collector type watch. Of course you can wear it, but I mean, I don't know if you noticed the price point on that. That was the retail price, $1,900. Even on the secondhand used market, I found some old listings that they had sold for, you know, 1,000, 1,200-ish, something like that. So I don't know what they're trending at right now. I couldn't find information on what numbers were produced of these. Gshock is usually not very good at sharing that information with us. So let's talk about the case size, because although it's an MTG, it is more like an MRG kind of. It's almost like that blend in between the MTG and the MRG. And if you noticed on the dial there, you can see it says Global Positioning System. So this is a GPS watch. Talk about insane timekeeping. GPS is the way to go. So case size on this, excluding any bits, crowns, and all that good stuff, if we just try to catch the case, so I measure from here to just inside where the crown sits, I measure 49.7 millimeter, so it's darn near a 50 mil case. 58 lug to lug. Now we're talking Gshock here, so none of this stuff is like shocking, right? I know you guys, some of the people are saying that's huge, that's massive. Yeah, maybe it is to, like, say, you know, a regular style dive watch. Sure, it's large, but not for a Gshock. It's pretty normal. 16.6 or just over 16.5 mil thick, and then you have the proprietary lugs here, so I didn't really catch a measurement there, but it does taper down dramatically. H-link bracelet down to 20 mil, you know, and then you have a really nice Gshock 4 micro adjust double pusher. This part's milled out, this part's stamped up here, but very simple to operate clasp. You know, plastic rubber protectors there from desk diving marks, but really good finish coating on this. And we can take a look at the case back here. You can see there's some information, and the finishing is so well done. Even like the screws and everything, they're fully polished up and coated. Just a high level of execution when you get to this price points with the Gshock lineup. So sapphire crystal, anti-reflective coating, all of that good stuff. You're going to have a screw down multi-function crown. I'm not going to get into what this movement or module does, but it is a 5455, I think is what it was for the module. Actually, it probably says on here too. Yeah, 5455. And all that information is usually on the case back when it comes to Gshocks as well. So let's zoom in and take a closer look. And keep in mind, this is a used watch. It's been worn, so there might be a little bit of, you know, stuff here and there, but overall, it's a pretty clean watch. So you can see it's going to be a tough solar, tough movement, all that stuff. I mean, it's just chocked full of tech. The GPS timekeeping system is the main attraction here. I had that on my MRG, and it was never off. It's just never off. It's always dead on. It also is multi-band 6, so you're going to have that timekeeping there. And then this module, you know, it's perpetual calendar, all that stuff. So once you get it set up, which basically, you know, it just turns on and it pretty much sets itself up. There's no Bluetooth or anything like that. You don't need any of that. It pretty much is just going to be self-done. It's just good to go. So you can see plenty of stuff going on there, but also really dark, rich colors. So now if, this should be the mode button here. So you can see we just moved that sub dial down to ST. That's going to be your stopwatch function. So you could do it, you know, kind of like a chronograph. You can start it there, stop it, maybe reset it, something like that. Anyway, you can go to a countdown timer. which is always kind of fun to operate because the seconds hand will go backwards. So, but it'll keep time with your hour and minute hand. So it's always fun to see, like you just noticed the minute hand move forward, but the seconds hand's going backwards. So that's always pretty fun. So reset that. And then you have your alarm function, and then you switch back, and then you can see it indicates that today is Sunday, the second Super Bowl Sunday, actually, and all that good stuff. So like I said, I'm not going to go through all the functions, but I just wanted to share with you that's the stuff that most people are going to use. Now, there is a really well done light on this, and there should be some lube on this guy too, on the hour, minute, and the indices. So if I charge those up, you can see it's a really nice, brilliant green lume. So I'm going to show you the lume. I'm going to give you a wrist shot, and then I want to show it next to my newer generation MT. So here you can see it has really good lume. And then, of course, the light is crazy bright. Oh, if you hold that button down, it actually switches over time zones too. So if you're tracking a second time zone, I held it down too long. Okay, so let's compare it next to a newer generation MTG. There you go. You can see it's definitely more of the size of the MRG, not so much as the newer MTG. So keep that in mind, but it still is going to wear really good. It's just a bigger watch. It's going to have a lot of wrist presence. So let me pop this guy on wrist real quick for you. And again, big thanks to John over at the Watchgauge. I'll put a link to his store in the description. Like I said, he's authorized AD for Gshock. You can see it's a big boy. There's no getting around that. It's a big boy, but it wears good like all Gshocks tend to do. And it definitely has a unique wrist presence. You know, it's not just a full-on like blacked out frogman or something like that. This is going to get noticed, if that makes sense. So there you guys go. Let me know if you have any questions. I will try to answer them. But anyway, there you go. Hopefully you guys have a really good Sunday. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and I will see you on the next vid.